This is the mixing board, which is the main controller of everything that happens. You control all of your signal processing and effects and EQs and volumes and headphone mixes, and everything happens right here. And it looks very complex because there's so many knobs, but when you understand how it works, it's actually very simple. A funny story is I was working on this giant mixing console that had 4,000 knobs, and someone asked me if I knew how all these knobs actually worked, and I said no, I only know how to use these few over here. But when you see in a second, it's really simple to use these knobs, and let me explain. When the sound comes in, we plug a microphone into the back. This row of knobs is called a channel. Now a channel, you notice that a river can be called a channel because the water comes in and flows from one end to the other. Well, that's the way the signal comes into the board. The mic is plugged in here and the signal goes through all of these knobs one at a time and then leaves. And that's called channel 1. It's important to understand and to realize that a channel is on a mixing board and a track is on a tape machine. You don't go track 1 on the mixing board or channel 1 on the tape machine. Once you understand how one channel works, bang, you understand how the whole mixing board works. So let's say we plug a kick drum into here. The kick drum will pass through all these knobs and we do a couple little processing to them. And at the bottom we use the fader to set the volume. Then let's say we plug the snare drum into the second channel. We do the identical types of processing to the snare drum, and then we independently set a volume for the snare drum. So let's trace the signal down this channel for each channel that we're recording. When the first thing that happens when the kick drum or a line in is plugged in, you're going to have a switch on the mixing board that determines whether it's coming from the line in or the mic in. If you're plugging a microphone in, some mixing boards have a switch, which you're going to have to switch to mic input. If you're plugging into the line in on the mixing board,